So give me
Absolutely.
3 strategies that you have found useful for yourself while making your own path.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm going to give you what I give my students. All right. So the first thing that we always do is your brand definition. Okay. Your brand definition is your what, why, how, who, and your who nots. What do you do? Why do you do it? How do you do it differently? Who do you do it for? And who you ain't going to be doing this thing for? Because ultimately, sometimes we be taking on a lot of who nots and we questioning life because they not supposed to be in our business operations. Okay. So that's the first thing. And once you're very clear on that brand definition, we then go even deeper on that who and we separate them into target tiers. So it's really important that you're aligned with the who. Because when you're out of alignment with like, if you're in alignment with the wrong people in a sense, if that makes, am I making sense there?
Yeah,
Like you'll
yeah.
start to like, your business, you're questioning your business, you're moving differently, you're giving discounts, you like everything just don't feel good. And now you start showing up in business with a total attitude. And that's not why you started this thing. So the who is so important. And then I also talk about brand message. Now, once you establish who the who is, I always say, imagine yourself at the top of a mountain, right? And if you're at the top of the mountain and you're screaming down to get those people, the who's to climb up, what would you be saying? What are you saying to get them to climb? Right. And
Yeah.
so here's some of the mistakes that we make though when we're at the top of the mountain. We think that we're saying it too much. So we find ourselves like, oh man, I'm being annoying. I'm not going to talk about relationships anymore. I'm going to quiet it down just a little bit because I'm sure people tired of hearing that. So then guess what? As the people were climbing the mountain to come to you for the solution, they don't hear you no more. So what they do, they turn around and they go back to the bottom of the mountain and they go look for another mountain to climb. Right. The other thing is we change our message mid climb. So as the who's are coming up to the message, we like relationships. And then we're like web design. And they're like, huh? Okay, wait. And so then they like, nah, she ain't even talking to me no more. I'm going down. But you know why we changed the message? We changed the message because we feared that the direction that we were moving in was the wrong direction and we don't trust. And you know what happens though? You don't trust because you didn't see the people. The people were there. They were just in the forest, but they were still, moving to the call of your voice. So sometimes we just got to stick it out and keep the same message. So for me, I had to teach myself that like I get bored very easy. And that's what happens with a creative mind. Like I'll be like,
Yes.
oh, bird, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like, you know what I mean? But
so
so
like,
it's
oh, I
for
can paint. I can paint this.
yeah, that's me all day, all day. And so I had a friend, her name is Rita. She's a copywriter. She's bomb. But Rita was like, man, Britt, like you're pivoting. And so every time I have a new idea, she was like, but how long have you done it? Like you got to stick with this thing. I say, man, you're right. And so I'm like, I'm going to stay at the top of this mountain because right now I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I'm going to say a pivot does not mean a quit. It just takes a plan. And I'm going to say that over and over. And I don't care who is annoyed by it because the right person's going to hear it and they're going to climb up my mountain. Now, the last thing, I get real passionate about this stuff.
Girl, go
Now,
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
now the
Keep
last
going.
thing
Let
is,
that passion shine, honey.
come
Keep
on
going.
now. Now, once the people get to the top of the mountain, here's where my people messing up. They get there and then we don't even deliver. You know what I'm saying? So you don't call them all the way up to the top of the mountain and then you don't deliver. So guess what? Now they trotting down the mountain with bad news for the other people that's at the bottom that we're about to climb. So it's really important, guys, that we establish that who is so important because it goes throughout the rest of our business, right? It's who we serve, it's how we show up, right? The impact that we make is what actually is going to have people talking about us down the road. And so really, guys, just keep that message consistent, keep going, keep pushing. And those are my 3 strategies. So that's brand definition, your who, and then your brand message.
Girl,